I realize halfway through my intro, I don't have anything up here to show you what I'm doing. All right, yes, this is looking much better. Hello, everyone. My name is Brendan. I'm one of the co-owners of The Rustic Tub, our small little bath and body care company in the heart of tiny Ontario. And we are somewhat set up for another wonderful making video today. If you are a returning patron to this channel and to my videos, you obviously know what we're going to be doing next. If you are new and you've stumbled across this video, hello, I just introduced myself, and we like to make bath and body care products. And today I am just going to somewhat dive right on into it, mainly because I've been slacking on working today and we got a lot to catch up on. And I feel like I keep saying that almost every video, except now with fall coming, we're coming out with our fall line. We got a lot of wholesales to get through and fall fairs that we're attending this year. And for this video, we are doing another soap, but we are doing a soap that's part of our wholesale order. So we're going to dive right on into that one, well, obviously right now. Now, when it comes to doing our soap videos and or our soap in general, we do follow a standard recipe that we always like to follow suit with. We have done experimentation videos in the past where we've altered our recipe to fit the needs. That's going to be the case for today's video. Again, we are following suit with that. And going into it, we are doing a wholesale with a local tea company in our town. And they have requested for us to use some of their tea blends infused with their soaps and as well with their other products as well. So we're going to be diving into that one today. So essentially, today's soap theme is tea infused. Jumping right on into it, this store in Midland reached out to us. They really wanted this special infusion blend. You can put tea into your soap. It's totally okay. You just go ahead and you replace the distilled water with your tea content, and or if you're doing a coffee soap with your coffee content, you just replace that with your distilled water. And then for us, because we were given the tea blends that she wanted us to use, it gave us a chance to play around with it. And I already tested a little batch of soap. I will say it turned out really, really good. I was not, however, happy with the coloring, but the coloring's on me. So I'm to blame for that one. Nonetheless, though, we were given a couple of these packages to try out, to play with, and she really gave us free range of how we want to go about doing this. So we are coming out with a full line for her store. We're so happy, and I just wanted to bring you on the journey of one of the soaps that we're doing, and it is her Georgian Bayberry tea blend that we are using for this one. So we should be able to have a lot of fun with this. And I will say, we are just coming back into what I said before, where can you actually use tea and coffee in your soap? Yes, 100%. A lot of properties actually in tea and coffee have different features that can help benefit the skin. So if you're using an herbal tea, white tea, matcha, green, black tea, and if there's any tea lovers out there watching this right now, I'm going to say a rooibos tea. If I got that wrong, please do not come for me. I am not a self-proclaimed tea drinker. I have had it in the past. Steven's the tea drinker, so he'll be the one who's probably going to yell at me about that later. But yes, you can go ahead. You can use your tea blend, coffee blend for it. I've already beaten it to the punch because I wanted to go one step further. We are jumping into this video right on now, so that monologue is over. I have a giant pot of our Georgian Bayberry blend. It is already diffused into the water. You can see a lot of floating stuff. It's just hot water poured into the mix. So I did skip over that one because I didn't feel the need that had to be on camera. This is just literally hot water and the tea blend. However, for everything else now, we are going to be jumping into full-blown setup. So I'm not actually sure if I have done part of a video where you've seen me pouring the lye water, but I'm 50% sure I have. But just to be safe, you always want to protect yourself when working with lye. So we have our gloves, we have our safety goggles, and we have our safety mask just for safety purposes. And for our tea blend, what we are going to be doing, I'm explaining it now just because when I put the mask on, I become very muffled. It's going to be very low key Darth Vader. But going into that, we're just going to pour our water, so our tea water, into our bucket. We're going to be adding in our lye and mixing it all up. I have a strainer just to strain out the nice little loose bits of the tea leaves in there, just because you don't want that in the body of your soap. And then I'm just going to be going ahead and mixing it. So you're probably going to see like a nice little magic smoke show, hopefully on the camera. In person, I know there will be. And once it's poured, and I'm saying this now, we're going to let it cool to under 110 degrees. Normally you can do 120. 110 is the most ideal one. I will sometimes wait until it's under 100 just to get like the best soap pour that I probably can. That's just my personal take. Everyone is different. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead, get gloved up. It's going to be water with the strainer, obviously, and with our lye. Let it boil out, and we will come back when it is cooled off, but I'll show you a nice little glimpse of it once it's setting up in there. So I will say, because it's just water right now, I'm not putting on the mask just yet, just because water. And I'm just taking the strainer, literally with our tea water that we have, and pouring in the amount that I normally do for our standard soaps. Going into our fun portion now, this is where you're going to see me get masked up. I'm resetting the scale for the lye just so we can add that in. Always wear a mask. Just because the lye is a lung irritant, we don't need that going on. So for everyone who is out there for health and safety, thank you for constantly reminding me to stay up to date with all of this, because my self-care is down in the gutter. So coming in for the close-up, you can see these little lye crystals that are spinning around in there. That is sometimes normal when you are working with different blends. It's absolutely okay. Just to show you what we are dealing with though, we are almost at 200 degrees for this, so it is piping hot in there. We're going to go ahead, let it set up as much as it can. And obviously you notice with the tea blend, your lye water becomes such a very different color. So once this baby is fully set up to our under 110 degrees, we will come back for the next portion. Our lye water is officially set up. These are the rest of the ingredients that we are going to use. And normally when I've done videos, I'm like, oh, it's on the floor. It's on the floor. I can't pick it up. I can't fit it in. This is the reason why. So this coconut oil is almost empty, so I can lift her. Our little canola oil that we use for everything, she's heavy, ready to go. We have our shea butter, and then we have our avocado oil and our castor oil that we use in our whole blend. And a little couple weeks ago, we wanted to fast setting up soap with stearic acid. I was toying with the idea of using it today, maybe just a little bit, but I don't know how fast this is going to set up. But you know what? Let's throw in some stearic acid into this blend too. Like, let's make it our regular mix now. I'm going to clear off this little space now. We'll change up the camera angle for it, and we'll get on to pouring our stuff and heating it all up. All right, on to our melting ingredients. First things first that I always add is our shea butter and or our avocado butter. I'm just breaking it apart because the smaller the pieces, the faster it will melt. And with this heat wave going on right now, I'm okay if we definitely go a little bit faster. With that, our shea butter is in there. I'm going to go ahead, change up our gloves, and get moving onto our coconut oil. All right, so this is going to look a little humorous. I'm just coming in with the bucket because the coconut oil, since it's been so hot lately, has just become this nice liquid. So we're going to go ahead and get the measurement that we need to get. Okay, with our hard oils and hard butters half melted because of this lovely heat wave, we're going to throw this baby on the double broiler and let her melt down until she's all liquid. And now that we have this, we're just going to be going ahead, adding in our castor oil into our liquids bucket. So I always have a step-by-step process when I go ahead and I'm making our soap. And is just because it's a comfort level for me, just to get it into a groove of add this, add this, add this. So this is our avocado oil. And finally, humorously coming in is our canola oil. And then with that, that's done. That's ready to go. We're going to let this sit off to the side. We're going to throw in the double boiler mixture, and we're going to mix everything up very, very shortly. Actually, one little tidbit I did forget is our stearic acid. We're just going to throw in our little measurement there. Like I said, I'm only doing a small one this time around, just because I don't know how this is going to set up. So here we go, fingers crossed. So with everything bubbling down, I'm not sure if you can hear it in the back, but I'm certainly bubbling down from this heat wave. The one thing that I did want to go over with this one is our colors. Because I tested it out last time, I wasn't sold on the color palette that I chose, and I really wanted to play into the name of this tea blend that we are doing, and it is the Georgian Bayberry Blend. Now, when I look at the ingredients of this blend, the one things that stick out to me is raspberry. There is blueberry in there, blackberry leaves, apple pieces, morning leaves, elderberries. This to me is a very nature-loving yet colorful bar of soap. So I'm just showcasing it to you. Talking out loud is what I do best. So for the raspberry, we have our lipstick red mica. I'm not going to go over the top with these colorants. I kind of want them to be a pastel love affair as well. And with the lipstick red, because there is a lot of greenery in it, I do want to throw in our olive green. We are going to be using a little bit of black. Not a lot, just enough for it to have that very like pale viridian, essentially what I'm wearing. And finally, because there are blueberries in it, we have our lustre violet and we have our bold iridescent blue. I'm going to be mixing these together because, let's be real here, a blueberry is not blue, they are purple. So color palette, we are sticking with that one. We're going to be mixing it up, having fun with it. So we're going to get onto the mixing portion of our soapification process. All right, like in every video, we are adding our liquids to our hard butters that are melted. And I just personally scrape the sides just to make sure I get everything. It's all going back in there, but this is just a safety for me. So I had a fun brain fart. So part of me thought I had to add my stearic acid to my lye water. No, you add it to your melting down ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead, strain this out so it doesn't fall on through to it, and then we're going to be mixing it up. So as you can see with the soapification process happening, it's coming out like this really, really colorful, I'm going to call it a beautiful caramel color. And this is going to make me rethink some of my colorizations for it and how we're going to do it. So we're just going to do the best that we can for it. And then I want all three of them to be the star of the show. So I'm going to leave it as that. And we're going to throw in our colors and move on over to our main pour. Okay, swinging on into our mix, if you can see that, I did have to play around with the color quite a bit. It is a very darkened color, so pastels were out, but darkness is in, so let's go ahead and get going with this pour. All right, in all honesty, I actually have no idea how I want this to go. I'm just gonna do most of that. I'll throw in some red strip. I'll pour in first and then we'll let it float on top with the spatula. You can have fun designs with it. And this is going to be a completely blind cut. I have no idea how this is going to come out. So I'm really hoping by the time it is ready, we're going to have a beautiful soap. Because right now, panic, she sets in all the time. You can probably see me splashing around like I'm having fun. Let me tell you, I don't know if I'm having fun. I am. This part is always fun. I'm just always so nervous about how the cut the next day is going to go. The stearic acid really made it nice and juicy. So with that, I'll leave that for now. I'm going to add some swirls. Now let's do it with our handy dandy chopstick. I don't know how I'm going to go. Let's just do it. Let's go that way. Why not? I will say she thickened up nice. So I'm just going to flatten it out. She's still fairly liquidy, but I will add little, I guess, a spoon swoop to it, and then I will finish it off with some decorum. So we'll wait a couple seconds for that. All right, you can kind of tell I poked and prodded until I was happy with the consistency. Let's erase that little happening down at the other end. I'm just going to go ahead, take my spatula, shave it off to the side. Do little ones like that. Nothing too fancy or spectacular for this one. Okay, so like I said, we are using the Georgian Bay berry. So I'm thinking it wouldn't be complete unless there was some Georgian Bay berry decorum on it. So I'm just going to go ahead, lightly sprinkle it on just on one side. I always see a lot of those other Instagram people, and I mean, like, I'm shouting out Clover Soapworks for this one, and Soapbox and Ashley Marie Soap. Like, their soaps are so beautiful. They're everything I want to be when I grow up as a soaper. Those are literal goals. So, oh, what is that? That is a very long piece. Not invited to this party. Okay, so this is what we have going on. It's a fairly natural looking one. You can see some of the calendula petals going on in there, so I'm very happy for that. There are little chunks of blueberries dehydrated off to the side. So, you know the deal. We're going to let this go ahead, cure overnight, and we will see you very shortly for the cutting ceremony. Welcome to a new day. It hasn't been 24 hours, and that is because I think I'm a little bit too excited to cut this soap because I haven't seen colors like that for a while, and yeah, I'm just way too excited. So we're going to go ahead, cut into it, and well, I guess really hope for the best now. First things first, though, I'll lift it up. She's got some good structure to it. So you can kind of see already that the color has gotten fairly brighter on it. It's no longer like this dark, gloomy fall color. So the colors did brighten up. So I'm actually a little bit surprised at that when I thought they were going to stay super dark. I'm not mad at it. I'm still a fan. I already got the sides open because, like I said, I'm way too excited. It is hard enough to demold. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pop this out of the mold. And then some of the petals might come off. I'm at peace with that. And then it should just slide down. We'll see if the microphone picks up the bang of the silicone. Hopefully not. Get that up. And that is our loaf for now. So like I said, you can see the colors really brighten up. The cut is going to be the most interesting part. That's the part I'm so excited for. So let's go ahead, get that going. So always when I find that I cut soap, I will shave the tiniest bit off the first amount. And that's going to be my little garbage piece, just for the sake of it. But for the rest of it, we should be able, hopefully, we got some good designs going on in here. Some of the petals might get caught and you'll get a nice little line down there. That's totally fine. Easy to buff out at this point. But try to get in the light a little bit more. She is still dark in color, so I'm super, super happy with that. I don't know if she's gonna brighten up more, but I really do kind of hope that she does just stay this color. We're gonna go ahead and keep on with the cutting experience. And here we have our soap, so you can kind of see where the petals made a nice little indentation there. That is totally fine. It's going to happen when you work with petals and stuff like lavender and any kind of flower petals that you throw in. I am happy with the swirls. I'm very happy with the colors, surprisingly, even though it looks super bold. I'm not mad at it. We're going to go ahead, let them cure for about an hour, 2 hours. We're going to stamp them. And we have our last little big guy right here that will be part of like a nice little tester one. But that is essentially it for this one. One final thing too as well when you're working with tea for your soap, I had to do a quick little test just to make extra sure, is sometimes the scent will disappear. Other certain teas, so like herbal teas and fruit blended teas, they will have a subtle smell to it. This one, since it was a blueberry raspberry, did hold on to some of its subtle smell. It's very, very tiny in the nature of what we normally do with our soaps, but it still holds that nice little essential kicker to it that'll set it apart from all the other ones. So with that, we have our 23 bars of soap. We got our nice little tester one off to the side. I somehow got marked up for some reason, but that's okay. Okay, one final show off of what I think is the prettiest one. There are a little bit of air bubbles in there. That is normal when you make soap. It's gonna happen. She's all right. For now, though, we are done for today's video. So if you like what you see, please don't forget to like, subscribe, give us that little follow, notification bell, all that wonderful jazz stuff. And then as well, do not forget to follow us on all of our other social media channels where we really do try to do our best. And then specifically for this one, we will have this recipe up on our Patreon and how we worked with the tea and all of that fun jazz. So if you want to see behind the scenes stuff and how we create all of that, head on over there. That would be wonderful as we are growing this nice little brand more and more each little video with you all. And finally, thank you so much for tuning in and always watching. It really does mean the world to me and to Stephen, who's always upstairs doing all the computer stuff. And until next time, thank you so much. I will see you next week, everyone. Bye.